Happy Arvo. Hello. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today on my favorite day of the week, where I just get to sit back, relax for once in my life, and look at the top posts on r/Australia this week. All right, let's go. This article is just funny to me, especially being from Indiana. Why is everybody buying Truckzillas that are too big for our streets? It's a good question. And I apologize, because it's got to be coming from here in America and probably straight from Indiana. And I saw in this article they were talking about Rams and Ford F-150s. Yeah, being huge. Yeah, the huge F-150. So you don't have people driving around F-250s yet? Consider yourself lucky. Nobody left behind. This seems extra pertinent today because I saw an Australian news article that said there's now an 85% chance of a recession. Sorry. Nobody left behind. Can't pay the rent. Nobody left behind. Who's that then? Nobody. Yeah. Australian satisfaction with life is at its lowest level in 2 decades. That's not a good sign. If even the Aussies down there in paradise are having a bad time, we're screwed. It says doesn't get much more Aussie than this, but I don't know. That could be a piece of Vegemite toast. Like whatever that is, biscuit thing. This is pretty good. It's pretty Aussie. But I think it could, could kick it up a notch. This article says the announcement of a $20 a day increase in the job seeker allowance has been met with jubilation by the people across Australia who say they now have the funds to rent a rundown flat in outer Sydney 30 years ago. I don't know what a job seeker allowance. Would that be like unemployment pay? Job seeker. This is just kind of a sad post. It's this parent talking about how their son spoke to Make-A-Wish. They had just beaten cancer. And what was the one thing he wished for? If you could close your eyes, what would your biggest wish be? A house. She says, so yeah, that's how it is. A 7-year-old who has just beaten cancer and all he wants is somewhere to live. These posts is kind of interesting. I feel like I have my finger on the pulse of the Australian economy right now. And the housing market is out of control. All the way from over here in Indiana, I can tell you that, just from reading this subreddit every week. Something's got to give. Yeah, just nearly every post is about like recessionary type stuff. Australians are canceling their streaming subscriptions because cost of living has gone up. Crazy stuff. What is this? Bunch of pro-Kremlin, anti-vax people in Bondi today. COVID is a scam. Let's chat about it. Let's chat about it. At least they want to chat about it, but I will say you're not in the most approachable looking type vehicle, okay? I would not feel super safe coming up to chat with you when you're going around driving whatever that thing is. Can we go back to the 2015 housing bubble prices, please? I didn't know you guys had any kind of housing bubble. I'm trying to think back. It was a while ago now. It's crazy to think that was almost a decade ago. But 2015, housing bubble. Doesn't ring a bell, but I didn't own a house back then. And I wasn't trying to buy a house back then. So maybe that's why I don't know. Or it just wasn't over here in America. So this is from an Uber driver. Okay, it took me a moment because the driver's on the other side of the car. I'm a little slow. I'm feeling a little slow today. Okay, so that is the driver on the right side. And apparently, it's his Uber driver, and he was just watching TikTok the entire time he was driving. That's cringe. That's just straight up cringe. While you're driving someone and being paid, you're sitting there watching Uber, putting their life and other people's life at risk. Oh my God. It's so shameless. My God. Favorites are apparently now $32 at Woolies, which I don't know what favorites are, but I guess it's just an assortment pack of their best chocolates, best candies from Cadbury. $32. Which of course that's AUD, so I'm trying to think, what is that, like 20 US or like 18 US dollars or something like that? That just seems crazy for that. That thing should be like $7 US. At least it's 100% sustainable. It says it's almost snowing in Canberra. I would say that is snow. I mean, it had to come from snow somewhere. It must have been snowing at some point in Canberra. Canberra. It might not be snowing anymore, but evidently it was, which is crazy. Oh, I'm gonna look up the weather. What's the weather right now in Canberra? Weather in Canberra. Wow, it's only 36 degrees. Okay. So I know you guys were talking in the comments because I said something stupid last time about how I didn't know it could get cold in Australia, but wow. There it is, 36 degrees. Damn, I just didn't know it got that cold. And that's, obviously that's Fahrenheit, or else that would be burning hot. Wow, 2 degrees Celsius. Damn. Apparently, the Australian monarchists are not happy with the way ABC covered King Charles' coronation. I don't know what I'm sure I don't have like nearly enough respect for it either. So I better just not talk about it. Because I don't even know. King Charles' coronation. Gosh, I'm so like, I mean, I know what that is. He was crowned and everything. But some people take it like way more serious than others. So I don't know, especially over here in America, nobody even, it's just a completely different, it's like, what? Like this article makes it seem like it's this really big deal. They're saying they're going to file this complaint. Like you guys were not like covering his coronation well enough. It's amazing. That is a absolute metric shit ton of toppings. I gotta give it to them. I don't know if it was the Uber driver who did this or if it was it was probably the Uber driver. I mean, it's not like the pizza people just threw all the toppings off to the side of the pizza. No, it was the Uber driver. Yeah, that definitely fell onto his floorboards. I like how I say floorboards as if he delivered it on a boat. Yes, on his speedboat. He came to a sudden stop and it flew onto the floorboards of his pirate ship. But wow, I simply have to say, that is an incredible amount of toppings. That's like 3 pounds of, what is that, ham? Whew. Is that pineapple? Guys, I'm just confused by what I'm looking at here. This says, shocked when I saw this. The only thing I know of that comes in cartons is cigarettes. But I don't know any of these brands. Like over here, they're just smoking Marlboro Reds and stuff. So I don't, and these prices are so insane. You're telling me if these are cigarettes, a pack of cigarettes costs $30 to $60, $100? That's not possible. These. What is going on here? I don't know what this is. Well, I do see the mandatory smoking kills sign. I assume it's mandatory. So that does imply that these are cigarettes. So no, I'm just confused. Who's out there buying $100 pack of cigarettes? Or is a packet something else? Like, but then you have a carton. I'm lost. These prices look insane. Hey, finally, a deflation post. This man was able to buy a decent amount of produce for $15. I'm always amazed by how different bananas look in Australia. Those are some girthy, interesting looking bananas. But hey, $15. There you go, people. Maybe inflation is over. Woo, inflation is over party. This man received an egg from the prehistoric era. Incredible. That belongs in a museum. And on that note, guys, man, it's crazy what's happening in the world out there. I'm sad to see that life satisfaction is down in Australia. I hope you guys are doing okay. I'm sure it's down over here in Indiana too, so, it is what it is. Let's all try to get through it. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next week, I hope. Goodbye.